Welcome to the Triple Takeover Toycast, a fortnightly podcast about Transformers and occasionally other toy brands as well. My name is Sixo, but more on that later because I'm joined by my glorious co-hosts. We got Liam from Toybox Soapbox and Jason from G-Swags, otherwise known as the Swaggernator now, I believe.
Wagnatron.
Okay,
yeah, that's where
Well,
we're going.
I like the continental version, Wagnatron.
Well, that's because I'm a pretentious
Wagner.
art student and say Wagner instead of Wagner, as well.
Oh, yeah.
It does sound kind of nice. Like
It does,
that,
yeah. Jason Wagner. It's cool.
It works.
Yeah, it works.
The dog vogs its tail, that kind of thing.
Does that work? I don't
That
know.
doesn't work as well, but
Better than J-Tits, though, isn't it?
yeah, jits, the jits.
Yeah. I can't even remember where that came up.
I
Calling
don't
you
know
J-Tits. If
either.
that was
What
in a
is it?
public episode or a Patreon thing. If it's a
public
Patreon
now,
thing,
isn't it?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, public listeners now are going to be like, what?
Who's that
I
guy?
don't- Yeah.
Walking around TFN.
J-Tits? I don't know.
What was that? Anyway, let's not go
It
there.
was from somewhere, wasn't it? So,
Yeah, burn that from my mind, let's be honest.
yeah. Right, lads, you ready to talk hidden gems?
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the agenda for tonight.
I'm still scared. I've picked the same one as the first episode.
Do you remember what you
Long
remember what you
time
did in the
ago,
first episode?
Liam.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
while ago.
I have a broad idea of what I picked in the second episode. So I remember one was Road Rocket and one
Yeah.
was some other toy that is definitely none of these that I've picked.
Definitely another toy, absolutely.
But the first one, it's completely gone.
Well, it was a while ago. So for anybody tuning in that has not heard this before, this is actually the fourth hidden gems that we've done, believe it or
Oh,
not.
no. Really?
Yeah,
I thought
it's
it
the
was the third
fourth.
one.
Yeah, we've done four of them.
Oh, no,
Well,
this
this is the fourth.
This is the
This
fourth.
is the fourth.
This is
This
the
is the
fourth,
fourth.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
that
we've
means
done
there's now
three.
even more chance that I've picked these toys
Yeah.
because I thought we'd just done two.
No, we've definitely done three.
You've chosen 7 figures to date, Liam. That's how many you've chosen.
Yeah, 7 figures
Oh
over
my
3
God.
episodes. Yeah. First for Jason, though, isn't it? This is the first time you've... yeah.
if I've managed to choose, because I was trying to remember the episodes as well, but, age, amount of, what even is my name? We don't know anymore.
J-Tits.
J-Tits.
We already established. So I must admit, I'm looking forward to this because I haven't yet been able to admire your hidden gems, Jason.
Well, they are very special.
Are they? I look forward to it.
Very high up.
Well, okay, sure. God.
The height of my shelves. That's where I'll
Yes.
go with that one. That's what I
Yeah,
meant.
okay, sure.
Yeah, exactly.
So the format for this is very straightforward. We each pick 2 toys. We'll do one off the bat. We'll do a little round robin, and then we come back for a second round, and we're just going to talk about them. And we've said in previous episodes, for anybody that hasn't tuned into this before, that these are toys that we think are kind of, well, either a little bit underrated or just not talked about enough, purely and simply. Now, I will say that we have done some toys before that maybe err into the kind of little bit more well-known category. Like anything that's had like a Thew video or something like that, I've certainly done one choice that I know Thew had talked about before, and it was like, is that a hidden gem anymore if Thew's talked about it? Maybe not, but it's not really like a hard and fast
He
rule.
sets the trends.
Yeah, exactly.
The trends, maybe that's what it should be called.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
TH. Trends,
I'll
threads?
be honest. My choices are gonna have been in Thew's videos.
Right.
Oh wait, I'm expecting older J-Tits over there to come with a curveball again, and it'll be like,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
coming in with a curveball. It's G1 Optimus Prime.
Yeah, exactly. No one ever talks about this guy,
What?
He's ignored.
It's
Yeah.
this little known character, Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Spoilers.
Keeping that one in my back pocket. There it is.
I love you so much, Jason.
Yeah.
The best thing to happen to this podcast is
Yeah,
Jason's
I'm
arrival.
going to stay on script because this is going to make it funny. So we're going to
There's a
go
script.
Yeah.
I am fully looking forward to what your choices are going to be because I know at least one of them is going to be like it's going to just be a moment, a Jason moment. I know it is.
I've picked like a toy that was derided, I think, and not
Okay.
liked, and I can make its case. And one of my alternatives, if I remember that one of the other ones I've picked, I've already done, an alternative will be a similar sort of thing.
Yeah, sure. Scrambling
coming
for an
back to me now.
alternative. Yeah.
I've either remembered / just Googled it and looked at the cover arts and sort of picked out, yep. But there are still
Right.
2. I cannot remember
Interesting.
2.
Interesting. Okay, well, we'll find all of that out just in a minute. So I should mention before we get going that we do have a sponsor for the evening as well. That is tfsource.com, and we are going to do a bit of a longer segment on them in the middle of the pod, so you can look forward to that. And we do have a Patreon as well, so we'll do a little segment on that at the very end, just give a few shout-outs and things, so you've got that to look forward to. Otherwise, I think that's housekeeping done. So who wants to kick us off with their first gem?
Who's gonna go? Is it going to be Liam and doubling up his choices?
I think it's going to be Liam. Come on, Liam, get your gems out.
Really?
Yeah, it's normally you that kicks us off.
Okay. Well, I'll jet in because I'm going to go with Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, nice.
So, this toy is actually really, really good.
This is the collaborative one.
Yeah.
A lot of people will know this, I guess, but it was. This is your derided toy, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah, the classic F-14 Tomcat. This is the one. I think people just sort of gloss straight over it. I don't know whether we're like spoiled or what, but it's got this terrible plastic. I give it that is kind of a problem. It's kind of unfortunate. And I think people have just dismissed it on the back of that, but they're missing out because this toy has two stunning modes. Like, it's one of the best jet modes you will ever see in a Transformer because even the undercarriage, there's no visible robot parts. It's just...
Oh, that is cool. So I've never seen this. I've never seen this toy in hand.
You've seen pictures though, right? Oh.
I don't know if I have, if I'm honest.
Really?
It's a hidden gem, isn't it?
Wow.
We're educating Jason then.
Yeah, I know.
Hidden
totally.
from Jason Gems.
Yeah. This is cool. I love it.
But it's like a fully licensed jet by the, what they're called, I can't remember what they're called, Northrop something or other, or some jet war company.
Yeah.
It's not Boeing, but it's one of those companies.
Is it actually licensed? Is it licensed?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's on the box.
That's cool. Has it got legit stickers or decals
well, it's
on
got
it?
little jet markings on the nose. You've seen stuff like that and actual real world sort of things on the thing because it's from the film. And this obviously came out miles before the film because the film was delayed, I think, 1,700 times for over several years. Do you remember? It was being released every 6 months for, I believe, half a decade.
The sequel. I haven't seen the new one.
You're missing out. It is
I know.
amazing.
Everyone tells me that. I haven't seen it. I really need to watch it. It's on our is it Amazon or whatever platform it's on? It's on our watch list. Do you know what I mean? To sit and watch at some point.
It's one of those films. I remember. I think that I watched it on a flight to New York, maybe, and my girlfriend would attest that all the way through it, I kept just like tapping on the shoulder, pointing and going, "Look!" What? She had no idea what was going on. She's rolling her eyes. I'm trying to watch something else. Yeah. But look, it's wicked. It's one of the best sequels you will ever see.
Well, that's what my son does to me.
But the first one is a classic, an iconic movie, and it's one of them where you think like it's so far later. All these sequels are always going to be terrible. Then you watch it and go, that is one of the greatest movies I've ever seen in my life ever. It's great. But the toy, the transformation is really nice. And it's very Jetfire, like G1 Valkyrie sort of Macross style.
Is it at all also like the G2 smokescreen? You know, the little, because it always had that sort of vibe to it. Or actually, no, a couple of people said it was like the Cyberjets, or is that wrong?
No, it doesn't transform like the Cyberjets, but it looks a bit like the Cyberjets. But it's that kind of jet mode because they're these kind of Earth jets, aren't they? So it's just the kind of proportions and shapes that it comes out at. But it's very clever the way it all folds out.
So I'll be honest, if I didn't know, so I wouldn't think that's a Transformer, looking at it and what you've just shown me there, right? Because I'm not seeing any robo kibble at all, which is really nice. And it's got even the finish to it and stuff like that. You see, the plastic was a bit rubbishy though. Is it like
the plastic is this horrible soap bottle plastic, or that people have lamented on? Who was it? Siege or Earthrise Ape Face, whichever one of those it was.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's this weird sort of waxy, almost clearish. It's like bone white, but it's kind of almost like semi-translucent.
It's such it's a really weird look. I've seen I've seen a lot of official shots of this thing, and in some of them it looks incredible. Like it looks really, really good. And then I've seen a lot of in-hand pictures, and you're like, but I have also seen people do like a wash on it and kind of give it a new lick of paint, and it looks awesome.
Mate, like when people put paint on it, it looks fantastic. Because if they'd have just cast it in flat grey plastic, it would have been wonderful.
Yeah,
it's all it needed. It's really strange that they've gone for this, and it feels like they were cost cutting. It's like a cheap plastic, and it's just how they fit it into a budget or something like that. But they used it on other toys at the time. It was like there was a little period of a couple of years ago where they kept using this really unfortunate plastic. This is sadly it, and it's a shame because it almost kills the toy for most people. And it's like you're sort of missing out because the way it transforms is really clever and it's quite simple. But what it turns into, like if you look at the robot mode, it doesn't look like a normal Transformer. It's really slender. It has got that Macross vibe to it.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah.
And he's got the cool little flight helmet as the head.
That's really cool. I love that.
Yeah, the robot mode head, the helmet, I think is super clever.
Yeah.
I really love that, honestly. Like, great nod to the film.
Wait a minute.
You've just looked at the picture.
Yeah, but isn't this like our flip changer guy as well?
No, I see what you're saying. It's just like another jet. That's the thing.
Yeah, true.
But you can see why people compare it to Cyberjets from the when you look at the
totally.
mode and the jet mode. It really makes sense. You can see that kind of lineage to it, but it's so spindly and different. But it looks like a modern Cyberjet, and you're like,
it does.
They could have cast it in any other color plastic: a flat white, grey, black, anything, bright green, pink, hot pink. Ooh, love that, and it would have looked stunning. It would have been fantastic. And instead, they've got this horrible, waxy, and it's really hard to describe. You can sort of see it in the pictures from some of those pictures. It almost looks grey, and then you look at the robot mode and it looks white, and it's kind of an in between those two colours.
It's a really weird choice. It kind of makes me hope. I mean, they haven't done any repaints yet of this thing, have they?
No.
And it kind of makes me hope that actually they will, that they'll, because I would be all over it, honestly. Like if they did some, as you said, some like neon green or hot pink, sort of almost G2 or Euro G1 style colours.
Boring grey.
Or just boring grey,
yeah. Just that's camo. That's city camo, that's called.
Well, it just sort of looks dirt. Urban
It does
camo.
look dirt, yeah. It looks like dirt.
Totally.
But you're like, they've gone to all this effort to give it this kind of crazy like dirt deco and stuff like that because it's meant to be old and all that. And you're like, but then you use this horrible plastic. Why? Yeah. Why is the budget there for that, but not for just actual really normal plastic? Because it's kind of a shame because it's not even like you can get toy hacks for it, but you're like, we just still got to go on this terrible plastic.
Yeah.
Whereas if they'd have done it flat with less decals, you'd have been like, but I can do something with it.
Yeah,
it's that kind of thing. But I saw somebody did a really fantastic custom from Afterburner. That is a computer game, Sixo.
Computer game.
Oh, right, okay. I thought you were talking Transformers. You see?
Right, in bright orange.
Bright green. Yeah, totally.
With giant wheels instead.
Yeah, why not? Slap a couple of wheels on there. Yeah.
But yeah, so Afterburner, it was like an 80s arcade game for Sega, and you pilot a Tomcat, and that's what they painted it up to. And I saw it and I was like, I wanted that. That's exactly all I wanted. And it's a weird hurdle to fall at, that the most obvious basic thing for something like this is it's a jet, very boring grey plastic. And you're like, how is that the hurdle they fell at here?
Yeah,
it's really strange. Sure. It's like, I'm calling this a hidden gem whilst lamenting the plastic. But honestly, like the rest of the toy.
You've done this before, though. I think what some of your previous hidden gems have been like, this is a bit rubbish, but I'm going to big it up. And I kind of like that, though.
Yeah, totally.
I get the angle you're going for.
I feel like I've got to qualify it because it is a really, really good toy let down by one enormous flaw, and it's hard to get away with it. But just going with a beach ball, so I'm going to make something for it.
Yeah,
a massive beach ball. Look at the size of it next to the motorbike. You know,
it just needs Kenny Loggins, playing with the boys. Bit of that.
So this was a legit. Was this a Hasbro release then? That came out? Yeah. So I didn't realize. I didn't realize it was a Hasbro release. I remember when I saw it because it just gave me total GoBot vibes because it's big long legs.
I can see
and all that stuff.
Yeah. Massive GoBot energy.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can feel like it's weird now when you say like it's a crossover toy because it feels like ages ago. It's that far back in the crossover lineage. It's quite early, and it just was a bit Top Gunny. They flew past it.
This was back in the sort of days where no one really knew what they were going to do with the collab line. Like they'd done Ectotron, and this was one of the first 2 or 3 that kind of came out. I think it had been leaked as well. It had been leaked quite early on, so people had seen it and they were like, "Oh, we're getting a Top Gun Transformer." And at this point, it felt like, they're only going to collab or crossover with like film franchises as such. And now, obviously, they're doing like Ninja Turtles and lots of different weird stuff. And it's kind of gone in different directions a little bit. Which is cool. I'm really into that. But at this point, it was very much about those kind of classic 80s film franchises like this and Ghostbusters, things like that.
Yeah.
And I skipped this one, I must admit. I've actually got, it's like you're saying, Liam, it was the plastic that put me off. And I have got Ectotron, I have got a number of the others. I have Expanse, I have, what's his name, Gigawatt, who I really like. Gigawatt.
So that's the only one I've
great.
got. Yeah, that's the only one I got. But that's
really
based off of the Sideswipe mold, pretty much, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I have literally all of them because I like them all so far.
Yeah, they're good.
Crossovers.
Yeah, they're unique and different.
I didn't care for Expanse, I've got to say. That really was Expanse. That's like That really was pretty. That wasn't for me personally,
Well,
but
we'll
it was
see.
okay. It was all right, actually. It was all right.
Do you know? I don't know if I ever told you guys this story, but controversially, I was bought by my now ex-wife the Unicron Darth Vader crossover.
Oh yeah,
Transformer.
Yeah.
But I made her send it back because
What?
I did because I don't cross the streams with Transformers are Transformers, Star Wars is Star Wars. I don't cross the streams there. That was my rule.
Wow.
But now I've got the DeLorean as a Transformer. But that kind of made sense because it was a car going into it. But I always struggled with these those things.
Sure.
That's a separate
When you say though,
conversation.
you made her send it back.
I said I gave her. I went. Can you get a refund on this? Is the way I maybe put it.
Wow.
If this was short circuits, I would imagine a fantastic little image of Jason's face popping up on the screen right now from Mendestrika, yelling.
Oh, sorry.
Send it back.
I know, but it is. I mention it because quite often with these, I struggle with the crossover stuff because it's like, really, does that work? And I did dismiss this figure for that. I will have dismissed it for this reason because it's just like, is that just a cash in? That's not a Transformer.
No,
I had no idea. It looked really nice.
They're done pretty well overall, actually. I think, like, you can tell that there's on all of them, there's a bit of love gone into them, and cool. There's a with the helmet and stuff like that.
Yeah, totally.
They're not
it's
just
really cool.
the fact that it's a licensed, plane and stuff as well, I think is pretty cool. There's enough love gone into them to make them interesting. I will say the QC on some of them has been a little bit spotty.
This one, it's the way the chest doesn't lock in as it should, and so you move it and the chest will just flip up in any position. But it's just that it's that plastic, and I think that puts people off, and I can understand it. But
definitely,
the toy itself is really good, and I don't think we've got another jet mode that's this clean in any era of Transformers that just cleans up like this.
Maybe, MP3 is the...
I don't think you can include MPs on that.
Well, I can include them, but...
Because they're different.
That's pretty up there, man. That's
I agree. Yeah. It's like it's the price differentiation there as well.
Oh, sure. Yeah, for a mainline generations adjacent thing.
Yeah, totally.
But you can still see some of Starscream's robot parts under there.
Right.
Whereas under here, like, the arms kind of just are there, but they're hidden.
That's because it's all the same color plastic.
There's no trick. Yeah, but there's no visible standout. You don't look at it and go, obviously that is this or that. But that's a good shout, actually, Starscream. But
no
MP3 mode.
Yeah.
MPO3.
Good choice. Very good choice.
Very good choice. Nice.
Now I understand the brief. I've changed my first choice whilst you were chatting.
No.
Oh gosh. Is it to Death Star Darth Vader?
Exactly. Just bought one on eBay. We're going to need to know what the choice was going to be as well, of course.
People can join the Patreon to find out what that was.
I'm definitely going to need to know. Do you want to go next or shall I go next?
Tell everyone. You can go next. Yeah.
Okay. You're going to keep yourself shrouded in mystery a minute longer.
Exactly. That's it. And then drop G1 Prime. Boom.
It's always going to be, honestly. Well, look, I have two choices tonight, and I've come armed with pictures, which I'll drop on our Discord, and I have the toy in hand, which is pretty exciting. Now, this is, I think, the very definition of a hidden gem, because this is a toy that literally no one talks about. No one except me and, like, a couple of other buggers, let's put it that way. And it's this lovely lad.
Yeah.
And this, obviously the people at home listening can't see this, but this is G1.
Yeah, important.
G1 Aquafend.
Yeah.
And this guy, there is a G2 version as well, but we'll talk about that because this is important. Dogatron will be listening to this, one of our patrons, going, he's on his rant again about G1 and G2. But this guy is superb. And honestly, these toys, so this is one of the G1 Aqua Speeders when they were first released. And they were released as G2 toys as well. And they did have different color versions as the color changes in American G2. So there's like several different versions of it. But it's just a beautiful little thing, honestly. I mean, it's 4 toys. This one especially is like a real favourite of mine. It
is such a great toy. Never owned one.
So at least I know about it.
Oh, so you've seen this one before?
Yep, I've seen this before. Probably because of you.
I tend to bang on about this whenever I can. So
there are toys that scream the time they're made, and this screams like somewhere between 1992 and 1995. It's that
it really
era
does.
of toy, innit? It's the
totally.
bright pink. And it's the
really does.
all the stickers all over it.
Very much so. So it's got that incredible buggy mode, first of all, which is it's a great transformation. It's very simple. I mean, you can probably tell that like the backpack flips up to kind of make the back of the car. The arms flip backwards to form the rear wheels. But what's kind of cool is that the arms then the forearms flip over to form the back engine block that you can see just behind the kind of cockpit and everything, behind the little windscreen and everything. And then obviously the legs just kind of fold under, and then his gun attaches on the back. So that's super cool. I love the color scheme on this thing. You've got that kind of, what would you say, hot pink, kind of magenta-y, kind of...
Hot pink, and then that lovely dark translucent green.
Yeah, it's so nice. And that's what I was going to say is, it's translucent green on the legs. It's like see-through plastic, which is super cool. And all the way through the upper arms and the backpack and everything as well. Incredible light piping on this. I mean, this is from the era where light piping was first created. And my God, I genuinely... Other than like one or two exceptions, we said this before, it peaked at that point. Absolutely.
Right at the start. It peaked at inception.
Yeah. Other than like maybe stuff like RID Scourge. And like Rotorstorm, the Turbomasters, these guys, all of it is just incredible in terms of the light piping at that point. Honestly, just really, really great. And there's just so many nice things to say about it.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's obviously it's got the thing with these is that they're color changing. So although it is kind of that pinky color, all of them, when you get them wet, they change to a slightly more pale color.
Some of the time again. It's very Hot Wheels.
It really is.
Hot Wheels are doing this constantly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Micro Machines did it as well, didn't they?
Yeah,
they did it for a bit.
It was early mid 90s era. Is what just everything had that phase of color changing, splash a bit of water on it.
Yeah, exactly that.
Totally,
some of the G.I. Joes had it as well, didn't they?
They did. I think a lot of toy lines adopted it. I remember various. Used to get like those toy adverts, going, now they color change.
Captain Planet, was one of them.
Was there? Yeah. The thing with these, of course, is that I never ever. I mean, not just because they're ridiculously hard to find in good condition, purely because kids used to soak them in water, I guess. So like any kind of secondhand specimen is naturally going to have been through the wars a little bit. But
I love the idea they gave them stickers, though.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You never would
make them
now.
Wet.
Yeah. They're literally, I mean, it's absolutely covered in stickers.
Rusted and, horrible.
So a real mission for me was finding these four and the Stormtroopers, who were the Decepticon equivalent, and the G2 versions, the American G2 versions. I wanted to find them all sealed on card, because I looked at so many secondhand versions and you could never find them without worn stickers. And when I say worn, I mean like completely gone, basically, just ruined beyond belief. Or like the paint obviously kind of corrodes over time or loses its pigment, things like this. So if you pick up a secondhand copy that is not sealed, it's very likely to be knackered beyond belief. So I really went to town on finding these, and it took me forever. There was one left over, and that just I couldn't get in the end. It was which one was it? Deluge, his mate, that really I struggled to find for ages. I was looking for the European card of Deluge, and I finally found one and kind of completed all the toys. And it was just so nice because you get to sticker them up and all of that, but I'm never going to activate the water feature for this.
Not even on
reason.
like a tiny panel. Yeah, totally. It would just be
nope,
don't go near it. Do you know this guy reminds me of Slapdash because of his shoulder pads.
That is so funny that you say that, Jason. Liam, do you remember that he popped up in IDW in More Than Meets the Eye?
Yeah.
Do you remember this? So basically, we were reading, this is again before you came on the pod, Jace, but we were reading More Than Meets the Eye for our mini-series.
Yeah.
And here's the picture. And we were just randomly in this one panel, we were all, I think Maz was like, who's this? It's Purple Slapdash. What's going on there? And it's like, I think that's Aquafend, And we asked James Roberts about it, and he was like, yeah, it's Aquafend.
That's so cool.
It's just James's, kind of penchant for throwing in random European G1 robots that he obviously remembers from when he was a kid or whatever. So
absolutely,
and look how good he looks, just hidden away in the panel as well, like in the middle of it.
Yeah,
and you can barely see him, most of him, but he still looks amazing.
Yeah, it's so cool, isn't it? Yeah, there he is. So it's just an absolute treat, honestly. I love the buggy mode. The robot mode is cool. I'm always slightly wary of the plastic, just because it is clear plastic of a certain era. So, but touch wood, None of them are broken yet, so just got to be careful with them a little bit. It does have a water squirting feature as well, worth saying.
Wait, does his backpack fill up? Is that how it works? Yeah.
So he's got a little. So you can fit the backpack onto his back. I don't know, because I will say that this hose is that kind of clear tubular plastic.
It's just going to break.
It'll crack.
You don't want to bend it too much. So I just kind of have it hanging loose. Although you are supposed to kind of bend it round and tab it into his back.
Not hanging tough.
Yeah.
But I like
exactly that. Yeah.
I always love these because it was so off the time, and it's like little mini water accordions.
Yes,
kind of that.
Exactly.
That is exactly it.
Pump.
Yeah.
See, when he does that, I can hear like the start of the Lightning Seeds, The Life of Riley. Like,
the
accordion.
It's great. Exactly that.
That's cool.
Yeah, just a beautiful little thing. Gorgeous stickers as well. Really nice. So much nice things to say about it.
Another fine choice. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just quickly, it's worth talking about the sort of the variations of these, because of course they were released in 1993 originally, and that's why they're G1, maybe G1.5. I would allow them to be called G1.5, because that is the year of G1.5 is 1993, because that's the kind of crossover year, because you've got Generation 2 happening in America, North America, and you've got Generation 1 still happening everywhere else. And so they were released as Generation 1 in Europe, also in 1993. He's being released as Jetstorm, there you go, in Generation 2 in North America. So both versions, both released in 1993.
Oh, this guy.
That's cool.
It's mad because I love the other colour scheme more than this, but I look at this and go, at the same time, this is so nice.
Look at that.
Yeah.
They're all winners. There's nothing.
That's the thing. That's exactly it. You've completely nailed it. I love it because it's so different. So this is now where it was pink, it's now black. Where it was kind of like dark green, it's now opaque blue. And it's just so mad. The stickers are all different colours as well. It's beautiful.
It's that thing, like the original colours are so bright and vibrant, and then it's kind of this transition to black, and at first glance you're like, oh, but then you see that blue and it's like almost electric.
So true.
And you're like, that is the complement it needs to, I think, go from such a lovely colours to something darker and a bit more traditional. When you've got this then sudden shift to the bright blue that's hidden, and it comes out during the transformation more than anywhere, and you're like, wonderful, fantastic.
Yeah.
That works.
I have a question. I have noticed that in Europe he was a friend. In America, he was not a friend.
Not a friend. I mean, he's still quite friend-shaped, I think you would agree.
He is, yeah. I know.
So, he was an Autobot. So Aquafend is an Autobot. Jetstorm, the American G2 version, is a Decepticon. And this is why the thing with these toys, this is why they're so confusing, right? And I'm just going to, let me run this by you, and you'll see why these toys are so confusing, especially picking up, complete versions and things like this. So, originally known as Aquafend in 1993 in Europe as a G1 toy. Then in 1994, Aquafend as a G2 toy in Europe. Also in 93, he's known as Jetstorm in a different colour scheme, now a Decepticon, and that's, I say, in 1993. And then you've got his mates, Deluge, who was turned into Drench, but Jetstorm, who's the G2 guy in North America of this one, was also one of the other Aquaspeeders in G1 in 1993. They used that name there. Yeah. He then becomes GoBots, which is a name that they also used in G2 as a subline. Then you've got Speedstream, who becomes Deluge, which is another name that they'd also already used in Europe. So it's just like names going back and forth all over the place.
Soggy scenario, all of this.
Yeah.
That's why it's a hidden gem.
I cannot sit and explain it concisely right now in any kind of way that would make sense on this podcast. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Kind of crazy that the original one's called Aquafend, but then this one has the blue, like Aquafresh.
So why not? Why is he not?
So
there we go.
But that means if some parent had multiple kids, they could buy a couple, and then it's Aquafend is for the family.
Very good, Liam. Very good.
Like campaign right there.
Jokes.
I know.
Yeah.
That's it. Everyone in the rest of the world is now furiously Googling that to find out what you're talking about.
What's Aquafresh and why is it for the family?
That probably would have been quite era appropriate for this toy.
This is where the influence came from. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm perpetually trapped in that time loop as well. So, literally just exist in that kind of era.
There you go. So, pretty cool toy. I don't think they're talked about enough, honestly. They've kind of disappeared. Like, no one's clamoring for this stuff in Legacy or anything like that. People are like...
I am.
I know, me too. People are like,
I want the originals,
Turbo Masters, but nobody talks about these guys.
Yeah.
I kind of resent you choosing this in a way because it's so good. It's reminded me I don't have one and really, really, really want one.
So, because I would have put this into G2, so therefore would have passed it by, even though I did notice G1, thanks to you, Sixo.
There you go.
But
technically it's both. Technically it's both.
Yeah,
technically it's both. Just
so it could be a Jason curveball.
Exactly.
Yeah, it could be a curveball. A G2 curveball. Yeah.
Well then, so... Nice.
Come on then.
Here's my curveball.
Come on, Jason. Don't let us down.
Trying to decide what to do first. So this is hidden gems, yeah? So bear with on this one.
That is the brief, yeah.
That's the brief. So you might recognize the name, okay? Predaking, okay? Not much hidden gem about that, okay? Predaking.
Is it the Prime one?
Maybe.
Okay. Oh, God. Wow. Well, Jason, to be fair, this is a curveball because I wouldn't have expected.
I wouldn't have expected that.
Great toy, though.
There we go. So this was my first choice, and I was like, that's probably quite popular. People probably know about this toy.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. They know about it. Yeah.
Wait until you find out about my other idea
People
later.
have seen Transformers Prime. Like, I know that. It's good, though.
But I'm talking about this as a hidden gem for the fact that it is... Well, one, I've got very few Prime figures. I have very few Beast figures. And for me, this is a hidden gem because of what it is as a toy. It's just like, it is ridiculous in its size, its scale, how it looks. It's a very beautiful toy, this one. And this for me is why I chose it as a hidden gem. That was my brief in my head, right? In the fact that it is a really nice chunky boy in his robot mode, but also in his dragon mode.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's so nice.
It's really lovely, and we've been doing quite a lot of chat about beasts and stuff like that, and I never really get drawn towards them. But for me, and this is the actual the version I've got is the Beastfire version. So doing a bit of research on this, there's multiple different versions. This is one of the biggest, still not the biggest Prime like beast figure within this line and stuff like that. But even in package, they had to like spin his wings around and attach them in the opposite direction so it could fit in the package, which is kind of comedy in itself. But it's got a load of funny gimmicks. It's got a load of daft stuff going on. It's a really nice little transformation that's just really good. But what I love about this, and you'll see there's a theme with my hidden gems tonight as well, in that it's taken
Transformers Prime.
A beloved. No, I deleted that one. The other one. It's taken like a figure that I love, like a original G1 figure, and it's bringing it into somewhere that for me is just like, it's not been here before, right? This is going to be my big Dragon Boy Predaking, and not my G1 Predaking, and I had no concept, no idea. Still don't really have much concept idea. Because keep in mind, I have also missed Prime because that's my.
Well, I was just going to ask: have you seen the cartoon?
No, of course not.
I figured not. Yeah. Okay, we'll get to that on Short Circuits. We should definitely watch Transformers Prime.
Yeah. And should everybody else watch Short Circuits over at YouTube on the Triple Takeover YouTube?
You should. True. Check it out on the YouTube.
Click.
Find out all the animation that I've missed as well. Have you guys experienced this toy? Because it is a hidden gem, so it's unlikely that you've.
No, nobody has. Yeah, no one's ever.
Jason, this is a revelation. But yes, I have. My nephew had it when it came out. He was a friend of Transformers Prime. Yeah,
a child.
I think you sort of people forget like how popular and widespread Predaking was in this toy line, and when this show came out, it was Optimus Prime and him. Basically, he was the poster child for this show when it got to Beast Hunters.
For Beast Hunters, yeah, absolutely.
For this portion of Prime, once he was introduced, became like their big main character that they pushed on everything. There was what was it then? Cyberverse class, and
there was tons. Yeah,
every different size class, and it was on everything. And he was cool in the show as well. Really cool.
He was cool in the show.
There is. I was looking because there's all these different variations of. Yeah, there's the Optimus Prime versus Predaking version. There's the Cryofire Predaking. These are all different toy versions that were coming out as well. But the thing about this though as well is that when I picked it up, and I probably could have guessed that maybe this was an outlier for Hidden Gems in the fact that I did get it discounted when I got it in Toys R Us, so it was quite easy to come by.
I mean, look, it's cool. I think part of Hidden Gems can be toys that maybe we're not so familiar with or whatever as well. So it's cool. Yeah. I like this choice a lot. I think it's cool. It's not one I know. I've never handled it. I do really like the character in the cartoon and all of that. I just wasn't picking up toys really at this time when this kind of came out. So other than like the occasional masterpiece or whatever. So it's just one that skipped me by.
I was Jason. I was picking up most of Prime. So I had
Did
one
you?
of the Predacons. I can't remember which one it was. It wasn't this one because nephew had that one. So I had a different one. But I had nearly all of the Prime toys for a spell.
Yeah, so I was picking out different ones because like the Bulkhead that's in there, and there's some quite nice ones that were in that line as well.
B&M bargains for like £1.99 for ages. So I had about 50 Vehicons at one point.
Yeah, totally. There was all those ones as well. But the other thing as well about like choosing this is that I was pulling myself away from G1 as best I probably could because. Because I was like, well, that everyone knows about that, don't they? As well, they must do. But this is more a reflection on what I know about people's knowledge on anything else. So.
I do think it's a really cool use of the name, though. Like I know inevitably there are always some people that hate classic G1 names being reused on characters that kind of really only loosely, maybe even slightly thematically fit that name. But I think this is a great name reuse. Like, honestly, it's not really G1 Predaking at all, other than vaguely the orange in the color scheme, and that's like it. But I mean, it doesn't transform into the same thing. It's not a combiner, any of that. It's a completely different character. I don't care, because I think it's a great name to reuse, and it's a great reuse of that name, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yes. Totally, I'd agree, and it's like when I introduced it as Predaking, no one knows who that is, but it's the fact that it's completely off to the side in a completely different place, and I now know because of the beasts and like all the different dragon modes and stuff that appeared in that as well. But this was just a really nicely realized toy that works brilliantly in both modes. It is a huge amount of fun, and interestingly, I do remember a lot of kids that were friends with my son as well, that they would pick this one up as well. Yeah. Obviously because of the cartoon, but it was it's a really fun transformation. It's a bit easier for parents to be able to manage than a lot of stuff that was coming out. Because I think maybe at this point, there's quite a lot of MP stuff coming out at this point as well that a lot of parents were getting frustrated with. So it was just one of those ones that kind of fitted with kind of other collectors. But it's not something that I talk about within my collection. It's a slightly odd one when you see my collection, which is very G1 and kind of Generations and Legacy figure line. And I've got this one as well. So
I've got a soft spot.
Yeah,
it looks super cool. It's the kind of thing that I probably won't get, only because there's only so much room in my house. And
it's massive.
Do you know what I mean?
It does take up a lot of room. I won't give you
but I'd love to have a fiddle with it. Honestly, I'd love to have a bash on it.
Yeah, it's got a ton of little nice features. It's got a little. It's got electronics in it as well. Of course, it does. It's Prime, so
nice.
It's good fun. Yeah.
I think this is the kind of thing actually that my boy would go nuts for. Like, he loves dragons anyway.
I
absolutely
totally agree.
Love dragons.
7-0 would be in love with this thing.
He really would.
And maybe that's a way that I can shoehorn this back into Hidden Gems, which is you'd probably be able to pick this up for a total bargain because it is one of those figures that was released, was a mainstream release and all that kind of stuff, and will be available, and was it was readily available as Liam said. This Beastfire version though is the paint apps on it. It's actually got you can't really see it in the photos. You kind of weeb it on his legs and that, but it does go from like that bright yellow down to the orangey red as well. It looks really nice. The fade, really went for it, and his tail becomes his massive sword as well. It's cool. Really cool.
There's a sealed one on eBay UK for £50 right now.
All right, okay, so that's kind of...
No idea if that's a good price or not.
That's kind of release price, I think.
Do it, Sixo.
I'm not going to do it, but I'm just saying that it's there.
It's available.
But look at it. How can you not look at his Spanish name? It is Bestia de Fuego.
He's the best boy.
Bestia de Fuego.
de Fuego.
Yeah, so it is.
Yeah. Bestia de Fuego. That's a good name.
I believe that is Beastfire in Spanish.
It is Beastfire, yeah.
Oh, nice. Well worked out.
There is another one, which I assume is Italian, which says Dragone di Fuoco.
Fuoco.
That's a very different version.
Dragon de Fuoco.
I looked at it and thought, I'm just going to pronounce it in the swear word.
Dragon de Fuoco. Oh, dear.
Dragon de Fuoco.
That's his new name now. Forget Predator King. He's Dragon de Fuoco.
Follow around and find out.
That's it. That would have sold. That would have been way more popular. Also, as a bonus for everyone that's listening, stick around until the end, and you can find out what I replaced. What figure I replaced that with for choosing Predator King. So
Is that your second choice?
No. That was I had two first choices, and
but I mean, is the one you were just referring to? Is that your second choice?
Oh yeah, exactly. Hello.
I'm very glad you asked people to stick around to the end to listen to the rest of the episode.
Yeah, I was going to say, stick around for what we've said we're going to talk about.
I mean the one that I yeeted, that I decided not to talk about when I was getting the brief a bit more better, you know.
Fair enough. All right, cool. Well, we'll look forward to that. Great. Well, that's the first round done. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good little section of toys. Quite some different choices there as well. And we haven't all done G1, just me. That's
I'm making an effort.
Yeah, there we go. You are making an effort.
I've got no G1 tonight. None.
My second one is not G1. You'll be pleased to know.
Is it G2?
It's not G2. It's not
1.5.
G2.
Is it G1.5?
Yeah, it's G1.5. Exactly. Exactly that.
Busted.
Yeah. Busted.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
Right, well, it's that time for the part of the pod where we talk about our sponsor, and that is, as ever, tfsource.com. You can check them out for your Transformers and third-party needs, and we're going to do what we always do, which is find something that's in stock or available for pre-order right now, and just have a little bit of a talk about it. And that is, tonight, Matthew, a bit of a choice, isn't it? We've got a bit of a multi-pack of Autobots. You guys have chosen this. Surprise. Yeah, exactly. What is it, lads? What are we doing?
We are talking about the Autobot Headquarters Premium Finish Transformers Dramatic Capture box set that has an incredibly long name, many different parts of the name. But
Incredible.
It's basically the Takara release of Mainframe in his proper colours, Jazz and Optimus with white legs.
Oh,
yeah. It's pretty exciting.
So it's more accurate decos, really. And, you know, the Mainframe is the main frame of this thing. But the one I want to jump to straight first is the Optimus, because you don't see him with the white thighs very often.
Nice.
White thighs.
Yeah, despite how obsessively cartoon accurate everything is now. It's very rare. He actually has white thighs. It's normally silver, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. I think he looks great. I've got that figure how many times already? 4, maybe 3? I don't know.
Really striking, isn't it? And the little outlined Autobot badge on his shoulder.
I love this. Like we have Earthrise Optimus Prime because it exists perpetually in my son's room. So although it started as mine,
the royal
it's his really. But I absolutely love this. I have this set on the way, and I'm dead pumped for it because I think this looks cracking, honestly. And actually, weirdly, as much as I'm looking forward to the Mainframe, it's the Optimus just as much that is like, oh, that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's already a fantastic figure, and the alt mode as well. It's a really good figure in itself. But that Mainframe, oh my goodness! You know, I'd got the ARC for this, and now they've done it in the proper colours, and
it's kind of annoying, isn't it?
Kind of annoying, yeah. It's like, oh, what? I suppose I can have both modes now if I do that on the set.
Yeah. But it really works as well, doesn't it?
Does really
the fact it's still got the yellow legs and stuff like that.
It really works.
Totally works.
I love it.
I think what was funny is that when the ARC version was released, in the orange version, a lot of people did customs of this, and there were some great customs of this, of like, you know, turning it into Action Master colours. Yep. And so, you know, proof of concept right there. And it just looks terrific, honestly. I mean, as a certified Action Master enthusiast, there's no way I cannot have this thing. Honestly, like it's
totally.
It does sort of look like with the yellow boots that he's sort of either stepped in something, you know, through the boxes, like he's like, you know, like a kid, he's like made his own costume around his legs.
It does look like that.
And that's the first part he's put on, is just the legs of whatever he's dressing up as.
Yeah, look, Mum, a cape. Yeah, exactly. It's really funny.
Exactly like that. Yeah.
There's some really nice detailing on it though as well. Just the fact they put those paint apps on. It's very much a Takara release. And we've got a little Teletran 1 popping out there as well.
Yeah,
the Sky Spy.
The Sky Spy. Yeah. That's really nice.
The other thing in this set is jazz, and I've seen a lot of people like perplexed by this. I've seen a lot of people going, "Oh, I can't. Why are they packaged him in again?" And I kind of felt this need every time someone said it to reply on my Twitter feed when people keep doing it. I keep going, "This is a Takara release."
Oh man,
the
thank
other
you.
box set is a Hasbro release.
I know.
That's not the Hasbro box set. Is not for people in Japan, and this is for people in Japan.
Every time, and people are like, "Oh, can't believe they're re-releasing this," and I'm like, "It's a different company in a different country. Like, it's not
a different
the same
market
thing. You know, it's people talk about it like it's one homogenous thing. I mean, I even saw some people saying, "Oh, this is classic Hasbro. They're just repackaging this because they're repackaging the Optimus because they know they've got the Studio Series Optimus on the way." And I'm like, no,
it's not Hasbro.
It's not Hasbro. Like, it is funny.
Yeah. Either way, it's still a great set, and I'd be quite happy that
exactly.
It's
that's
really,
the other thing,
really
isn't
nice.
it? It's like you don't have to buy it. You know,
like just it's a choice.
If you don't want it, that's fine.
It speaks to the collector thing, isn't it? With this, is collectors now. It's not collecting all of the sets and all of the variants and stuff like that. It's collecting characters, isn't it?
Yes,
like having
exactly
the ideal version. So people will look at the mainframe and go, "Oh, I only want that one from this set." And that's the collector mentality. Sort of, I would have the same sort of thing now. It's like I'm less bothered about the full thing, and I particularly want certain characters and stuff like that. And so I get it, and I think that's the big shift now, isn't it? Because
huge.
In the prior times, it would be a lot of things. It'd be like, "Oh, there's that set. I would like the whole set." As a collector, I'm collecting it, all those things like that. But this is different. But there's a thing that strikes me about the Jazz that's quite curious again, is that this is a very accuracy themed set with the mainframe and the Optimus. And you come to Jazz and his car mode, it looks like the cartoon Jazz. But again, it's got the 14 on the side rather than the 4.
They love that, don't they? Honestly, they love that whole thing.
I'm sure there's a reason for it. I'm sure they said when they did the Jazz, I'm sure Hasbro said that the reason for it is to do with centering the 4 on the door.
There was a reason. It escapes me now exactly what it was, but there was a reason. I think it was to kind of thematically have it sort of vaguely, recalling his classic look, if you like, whereas kind of making it a bit different as well.
Yeah,
but it is a weird one.
It is a weird one.
It's strange though because it's so on point otherwise, and there's no reason they couldn't have just had the 4. And particularly in this release, like I sort of understand it in like the first release or something like that, but here it just feels really strange that they've stuck with it. Like there must be some deeper reason now where it's like we have to have this. But I'm sure someone somewhere mentioned there was some sort of paint related reason of centering in the door or something like that.
Yeah, maybe so. It's funny seeing this as like a proper Takara release. I mean, I have to say their photography and things with this kind of white background and all of that. I mean, obviously it's called a premium finished set. They have a way of making stuff look very premium, even though it's the same toy you already bloody own. Do you know what I mean? It's a weird old thing. I mean, interestingly, I've just picked up the dramatic capture set of the 3 Decepticons, Megatron, Soundwave, and Shockwave. And it's really nice. Like the finish is really good, all of that. I mean, I will say it's not quite kind of... The finish is great. The kind of joints and stuff, not quite to the standard I would have liked. Like it's a little bit kind of wobbly here and there. Generally all good. I mean,
not Sixo level.
Yeah, exactly. Not Sixo grade. There have been I've read a few horror stories about that set from people that are quite unhappy with it. And generally I would say my copy's out fine, actually. So fingers crossed this is maybe a little bit better, but it's still, I think, really exciting. That Jazz I only own in orange, so I'm quite looking forward to the original colours. Yeah, the G2 one. So.
It's a nice toy. It's just famously quite breakable. And I know the new Hasbro version has the non-clear windscreen, so it's more durable.
Right. Look at the 3 of them. There's an image there of all 3 of them just standing. Oh, it looks superb. I want it immediately.
Playing Tetris until the time run.
Yeah, it's a funny old set. It's a random 3 toys to kind of lump together. But I'm really pleased that they did it. I think it's cool. It's great to see another use of the mainframe mold as a kind of separate thing. I think that's super clever. The Optimus is great, and the Jazz is like a nice little bonus in my book. So
it's a must buy for me, that one.
Yeah. I think I would like that one as well.
Nice. Good choice.
From tfsource.com.
Yeah. Well, it is available there. You can pre-order it right now. It's due to drop later this year, so that's something to look forward to. As I say, the Decepticon set, which I have just picked up, is also very nice and worth a look.
Comes with a chair, doesn't it?
It does come with a big chair. Yes, the chair, the chair that you can
The
get.
chair from the spaceship.
One from the Starscream set, Hasbro released the Coronation set.
Yeah, Coronation set. It's that one. So I have 2 of those chairs now.
Ooh.
I'm going to use them like bookends.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe you're getting like a little 3-piece suite together. That's what you need next.
I am. Well, I've got the Deathsaurus chair as well. So if every Transformer came with a chair, I'd be a happy man.
Honestly. You're turning into a little DFS, aren't you?
Yeah,
a mini DFS.
It really is. Yeah, absolutely.
Destron furniture stores.
Yeah. Sometimes I look at my collection and I just think, sofa, so good.
Brilliant.
There we go. That'll do us for the sponsor segment. I think that's a good way to end it. So yeah, you can check out these toys on tiersource.com. Go and have a look for all your Transformers and third-party needs.
We now return to the Transformers.
Right, well, let's get back to it with the old hidden gems, and I cannot wait, Jason, to hear your second. There's a second one and a third one. Like, I'm still not really sure what's happening with that.
And a first one that wasn't chosen because it wasn't a hidden gem.
So confused, honestly. This is. I knew it was going to be good, and it's not disappointed. So, but before we get to that, Liam, you got another one for us?
I do, and this one is one that I don't think anyone would have expected in a million years.
Oh, what?
I am going with Reveal the Shield Strafe.
Ooh.
From the Revenge of the Fallen Mindwipe. He's a redeco of him.
I don't know this toy at all.
I don't know this guy. This is answering the brief. Okay.
Yeah.
So who would have thought me of all people coming in with the movie toys?
I know, right? Look at you.
Wow.
And which movie? Revenge of the Fallen, did you say?
Well, so this toy was released in the Reveal the Shield's little subline.
Right.
But it's a redeco. Hang on, I've got other pictures. Don't you worry. I have you covered, guys. So it's a redeco of this guy. There was a Mindwipe who came out in Revenge of the Fallen. It was not in the movie.
Okay.
But they obviously released a lot of other toys in this line. And this guy...
What's your favourite movie?
Not doing an episode on that one.
We are
not doing one.
We
are not. But
one day.
So this guy, if you look at him though, it's just gorgeous, and it's a fantastic stealth bomber. But both of them, like the Mindwipe, is nice because it's Mindwipe, and he's got this cool red plastic. But then he's got that kind of, the kind of tribal tattoo malarkey going on.
Yeah. That stuff.
But Strafe, the grey and the red, because he's a Technobot. But look at his wings. What's on his wings?
Oh, it's an Autobot logo. That's cool.
Yes, he has giant Autobot faces.
Oh my god, it's a massive Autobot logo. That is so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah. So I got this toy a long time ago from our good friend Nathan. N1311 Customs. He gave me this many, many years ago, and it just became a real favourite of mine. And I was recently at my mum's, and I found it in a box.
That's okay. I wasn't entirely convinced until that's a bit of genius using the Autobot logo. Very cool.
That's beautiful. Really, really nice. I love how they've done that. Just is gorgeous, honestly.
So he's got a real nice hot orange, sort of blood orange canopy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And if you look at the robot mode, you can see where his hands are. He's got these two sort of tonfas attached.
Yeah.
These sort of blade knives, and that's the front of the cockpit. But they pop out in little springs. You can see the latch on the side.
Yeah. I was just trying to figure that out.
They only kind of go that far, but I missed this from these toys. Like, if you look at the wings as well, in the robot mode, you can see they fold back around the figure.
Yeah.
And those little orange sort of daggery bits pop out on little
That's cool.
mechanisms. And it's kind of, you just sort of miss that now, don't you? We don't get that in the same way anymore. It's this kind of level of engineering.
No, this looks like no other Transformer I've seen. And that is a big compliment as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
that's
it's kind of... There's chicken legs going on. It's very cool.
There's kind of options with that as well. Like, you can bend the legs that way to use the chicken legs, or you can leave the chicken wedge sort of legs sort of inside, so he has more normalish looking legs if you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
Why would you? Like, it's just fantastic, and it's a really nice transformation.
Yeah.
Also, has one excellent little feature which I will show you here.
Beautiful picture there, Liam.
Yeah, these are great photos.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, this toy, it was so nice rediscovering it recently. It's one I've always had a real soft spot for anyway.
Yeah. We'll share all of these pictures on our Discord for patrons, by the way. Anybody listening, if you're a public listener, you can Google it. That's what we do.
Ooh.
So there is Mindwipe. And he comes with a little partner called Skystalker. Doesn't come with him, sorry. You could buy him as a separate Cyberverse class figure.
Ooh.
And of course, so Hasbro redecoed that into Sunspot. I couldn't find a picture because I don't have it. I couldn't find a picture of him attached to Strafe, but that is the one that goes with Strafe. They also redecoed it as Laserbeak, and it's a shame they never redecoed Strafe / Mindwipe as Soundwave to go with it as like a homage, to the Unicron trilogy toy.
Yeah, of course.
Totally.
So these are separate releases. These are separate toys that just kind of go together.
Yeah. So they were these came as a Cyberverse class, like a little Scout classy sort of size figure that you could buy separately, but they could connect. It's like a little feature that's included. But yeah, so when they did Strafe, they re-released Skystalker as Sunspot, and I just love the names they use in here as well. It's all like Mindwipe, Skystalker, Strafe, Sunspot, and it's like really just cool names, for classic characters. Names. But then there's a Laserbeak redeco of that as well, which is really nice as Sunspot. And yeah, like I say, it's just a shame we didn't also get the older Soundwave from that.
That Sunspot figure is, or Alt Mode, I love the colours on that as well. That white and yellow.
It's a big toy really as well. Beautiful. It's not small.
Yeah, very, very cool. Interesting one for me, because when you've posted the first image, I'm like, it's a kind of movie toy that looks a bit janky, and I'm not a huge fan, but I like the rub sign. But then you drop in the Autobot logo across the entire thing, which is that's never been done before. That's just, why has it never been done before? Amazing.
In disguise.
Genius, isn't it? That's so cool.
That's beautiful.
That little guy there.
The other feature of this is the line-wide gimmick of they stuck on the rub sign, because they bought the rub sign back, and this was the first time they'd bought it back in years.
Right,
on non-reissue toys. So he got one attached to his shoulder. Mine has long fallen off. Probably because it's so hot tonight.
Combusts. He's gone.
Yeah. Well, bit of a mini heat wave here, aren't we? So.
Is his head sculpt, just because I'm looking at that image, has he got a monocle eye, or is that just the photo that's making his face?
No, he has a visor.
Oh, he's got a visor, right? Okay,
orangey visor, sort of mono eye thing.
Oh yeah, I can see that on your image better actually.
It is an unusual head sculpt, because it's kind of like, is it a mouth plate? Is it a mouth? Like, there's no need to decide.
But he can have both. It's a mouth and a cage.
Exactly. What is it?
Marauder Megatron.
How does it work? We don't know.
So I've just zoomed in on your photo, Liam, and that is it's a stunning photo, and that the detailing. There's so many greebly bits that I'd missed until I'd zoomed in there as well. A lot of detailing. Even the fact that I always like it when they have figures like this and they put all that kind of paneling and the mechanism in there and kind of incorporate the screws, because they made the screws black and stuff like that. That's actually pretty cool, isn't it? That's really nice.
Yeah, it's just a really clever toy. It's a really big mold, and it's that kind of era where they were doing movie figures that were not quite like the movie. They were characters that weren't in the film, but the style was similar, but just quite slightly different, a bit more traditional. They kind of lent both ways.
Yeah. What this really makes me think, I'm just going to say it, is that it's so nice to see a Transformers toy and character design that I've never seen before. Like, and we just
have you never seen it before?
No, never seen this before. Honestly,
I've hold my hand on that.
And it's so nice because I love the era of nostalgia that we're in. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, we do sometimes kind of miss that element of the new. Do you know what I mean? And like there is a little bit of that with some of like the Rock Lord stuff and all of that going on. I know they're not Rock Lords, don't at me, but you know what I mean? There's those going on and like fossilizers and things. So there are new concepts coming in, but it's just nice to see like a wholly original, different take on like a robot that's not rooted in 40 years of history and whatever else. It's just a new dude, a new look. He looks great, is totally different to anything else that you would see in another part of the franchise. And it's nice. It's nice to see that.
Yeah,
so unique.
Point. Yeah,
I kind of missed that. Like the movie toys were never any of my favorites, but I did like this side of them where you saw just something completely different that was unattached to anything really. Like this is Strafe as a Technobot, but it's just the name and the colors. And on something totally new and unique, and like I say, the Mindwipe version is nice. That sort of dark green, that's also gorgeous. But they were hitting it out of the park here, because the area you were getting like the big sea spray and stuff like that, just loads of really cool.
And some of those movie toys were funny because the original molds, the ones I've experienced anyway, the original molds looked great, but then they're often in quite like dark, realistic colors. And then you'd often get like a repaint in just some banger color scheme like this, where it's like, oh, that's the one I want. Do you know what I mean? With like the vibrant colors and everything.
Big Autobot wings. That's just crazy.
That's the bit that's totally selling it to me. That's genius. I love that.
It's like a proper tattoo, isn't it? And
it
is. Sort of, but you look on the inside of the wings and those little blade bits, but you can see the big orange clear plastic panel with all the gears that kind of move into.
That's super
amazing. It's very cool.
It's just like, if this toy came out now, it would feel like the most premium toy on the market. And back then, we were just getting these. These were just in like Sainsbury's every week, or all sort of shops, and always often on clearance or whatever. But you just sort of, you don't know what you got till it's gone, really, do you?
Yeah.
So that's really interesting you say that, because I did go in regularly to every different shop I love picking a robot up off the shelf and buying it. And I never ever saw this guy on
really?
the shelves. Never. No. I'm going to put that down to living in Scotland. We only get a select number of beast primes.
It's funny because I'll admit my first reaction when I saw the name Strafe on the box and the toy was almost like, oh no, that's not Strafe.
Right, yeah, okay.
And then you look more. Is that kind of that era of being a G1? You know, you kind of look at it and go, oh, again with this. And then you kind of see it and you go, actually, no, I take all of that back because that is spectacular.
Fair
whatever
enough,
this is. Yeah, I really do go back to what you said, Sixo, is I just miss this kind of feeling of newness. Even if I don't like it, it's on some toys. It's that seeing something that I've never seen before.
Exactly that.
And completely new takes on characters.
And I don't even think you have to like all of it. That's not the point. The point is that, and I'm not saying, everything different is automatically good. Of course I'm not. You know, it's not always the case. But it is nice to kind of have that feeling of originality and just character designs that have never been touched before. I'm not even talking about like new versions of old characters done in a different style.
No.
I'm just like wholly original designs that we've just never seen in a previous version of Transformers. I think that's cool.
And quick shout out, a lot of these characters popped up in the comic IDW did at the time, the movie comic, which was way better than the films. Really nice designs. Really good comics.
Do you want to talk about the film? The Revenge
just
of the
getting
Fallen
in
film?
there.
Do you want to...
We are never doing that episode.
Should we do that now? We can just segue.
We don't have time. We don't have time.
We can do the one where that guy, Anthony Hopkins, beats up a fish. Is that him?
That's last night.
Yeah. Who plays him? Is it the guy from Downton Abbey who plays Cogman?
I mean, I'm not prepared for that chat. Yeah, I need to look it up, man. You know, but we'll do it when we do the last night. I mean, to get to that, obviously, we've got to do all of the others, including Revenge of the Fallen. We've got to do them in order. We've done the first one. We've done the first one, so Revenge of the Fallen is next. We'll do that in an upcoming episode. Look out for that. TripleTakeover.com on the way soon.
Here is my spoiler-filled preview of that episode for my contribution. Beep, beep.
Yeah, exactly. Just Liam saying, "Je refuse."
but anyway, I think this, just to wrap up, is a true definition of a hidden gem.
Yeah, I think he's nailed the brief. Let's give him that.
He's got the brief. Yeah, Liam understands the assignment. Fair to say.
I take that as a dig.
No, it was not a dig. It was a compliment to Liam. But...
No,
this is not my first hidden gem rodeo.
Yeah, exactly. He's a four-timer now.
He is, it's true. And you didn't duplicate, Liam. That's the thing as well.
Yeah.
Well, I almost picked Kabaya Rotis, and I'm pretty certain I picked him as the previous one.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah.
I think you did.
Excellent. Brilliant.
Right.
That's good stuff. Okay, Sixo.
Shuffle him off to the side.
My second one. Here we go. So I've not gone for G1 or G2 or G1.5 or anything even in the sphere of G1. I've gone for a Unicron Trilogy toy. Because I figured, been a while since we talked about one of those. We have a mini-series, which we've paused for a stint, about Unicron Trilogy. Maybe we'll revisit it at some point. Who knows? But in the meantime, I thought we might want to talk about this guy.
Yes.
Cybertron Landmine.
Lovely.
Okay, before you start, I'm just going to say one quick thing is that I have so much regret I didn't pick one of these up from any of the TFNs we've been to, and I keep
Me too.
Just wanted to get that in. Yeah.
I'm the same.
Well,
I don't own it.
It's a beautiful thing. And do you know, I say that because I'm sure, look, first things first, I'm sure some people are going to see this toy or hear about this toy and think, that's not a hidden gem. Like, I love that toy. but you don't hear many people talk about it, is the thing. Do you know what I mean? It's not the most commonly, like whenever there's a conversation, even on our Discord, about Unicron Trilogy toys, it's not a toy I find very many people like on the tip of their tongue mentioning. And that's to me what qualifies it as a kind of hidden gem.
Yeah.
Just because of how good it is, to be honest. Like I got this a little while back, and I got to be completely honest, my expectations it wasn't so much that they were low, it's just that I had no expectations. It was like, that looks cool. And it was sat or whatever site I got it from for like nothing. Do you know what I mean? Like next to nothing. I got the Takara version, the Galaxy Force version. And when it arrived, I got it out of the box and immediately was like, this is a really cool like digger mode. Do you know what I mean? Like construction vehicle mode.
Yeah.
Then I transformed it and I was like, okay, this toy is a total banger. Like it's a total legend. And I just absolutely love this thing. I've got so many nice things to say about it. It's a small-ish toy, like it's not huge at all. First of all, the vehicle mode is really cool. Really kind of massive digger, big wheel energy, which I love. It's got like little smokestacks and things on there. The Takara version especially, but both versions, they're not that dissimilar, kind of loaded with paint. It's got this kind of like jackhammer missile thing going on. Just super cool, really. And it feels like a G1 toy in a certain way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it reminds me of the Beast Wars second figure.
The auto rollers.
Yeah, the auto rollers
that we talked about last time. Yeah,
totally. Yeah, it's got that vibe.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I love. One of the things I've always loved about this toy is where the cyber key goes, which is in the wheel.
Wheels.
It's such a unique thing. I love that you can twist it almost like a car, ignition. It's like
you use it like a proper little key.
So this is Cybertron Landman as well, isn't it? Like before other people listening will have the Energon Landmine.
It's the same character, character in the show,
very different, toy,
but a very different toy. Yeah. So you got to be clear because the Energon Landmine we have talked about on the podcast before, and we all agree that's a banger. That's not a hidden gem. Everybody knows that toy is amazing. This one, I think, is totally overlooked in that regard. It's just so nice, honestly. Small little thing. The transformation is really unique as well. I love the way that the digger bits, the shovel, kind of splits into two and like moves up onto his arms. I think is really cool. I absolutely adore the way that the smokestack things kind of split apart and then come round onto his chest, a bit like guns almost. It looks really cool, honestly.
And wheel spikes.
Yes. Well,
wheel spikes.
Have you seen this, Jason?
No, I've not. What is it? So
his basically his wheels. This is worth mentioning. His wheels. I've got my copy of the toy here, so I can show you.
They come out.
If you put the Cyber Planet key in the wheel and turn it, I mean, you can do it without the key, but still, the little spikes pop out of his rear wheels just there and kind of spin round.
That's very.
But what's
awesome.
really cool about that is that then he's also got these little kind of hidden tires just there on sort of rear of his vehicle mode. So technically, he has 3 modes. The rear wheels also fold up like so, and he's got this little sort of spare pair of wheels at the back just there, so it can still roll along. But then when you
lawnmower mode,
when you do that, look, the whole thing turns by itself.
Amazing.
It's on like a little gear mechanism.
Menacing. So I presume he's a baddie then.
He's a goodie. He's a good guy. Yeah, he's a goodie. He's a friend. He's a friend.
He's a friend. Oh my goodness! I have noticed something about both your choices as well.
Go on.
They both have wheel shoulder pad.
They do
going on as well.
Yeah. I do like a wheel shoulder pad, so that's not surprising. That's
it's really good.
It's really good.
Oh,
sorry, you got Liam with that one. There you go. You got him.
That's good. I like that.
So that's it really. I mean, what else to say about this thing? I mean, it's just beautiful. Honestly, paint's really nice. I've not seen the Cybertron one. I've only got the Galaxy Force one, but apparently it's got a little bit more silver paint on it, so that's cool. It's from 2005. As I say, it's got an attack mode. It was also retooled, of course, into BotCon Rhinox as well, which we did talk about on a previous episode. So this is one of the more, I want to say, desirable BotCon toys. So it's the that set that old Spider Father has.
Oh, that's the one that Spider is that the Spider got? Is it in the foam case?
Yeah, it's that one.
Right,
exactly.
Wow.
He's got the set of the 5 Maximals or whatever.
Amazing. That's very cool.
Is it 4 Maximals or 5 Maximals? Whatever it is.
I will say, the orange version is so much nicer. I think. The Rhinox one is cool, but that kind of the front bit, the little cockpit area, is kind of lost a little bit compared to this one, where it's like the orange and black contrasts so nicely.
I really agree. I think this is a great color scheme for it. And there was a repaint called Grindcore as well.
Here we go. Always in the Constructicon colours. You can't have a Construction vehicle.
Get a Constructicon theme in there.
But a friend again, though. This is the thing. Oh, this is why I get confused easily. So
it looks like mushy peas. It's like mushy pea colour.
It really does.
It totally is.
You're right. Actually, it's not quite Constructicon green, is it?
It's a bit too bright.
Mushy pea green. Yeah.
No purple either. It's a very mushy pea green. Dip some chips in it.
I really want it now.
I'm gonna wander around the TFN Traders Hall looking for these guys.
Which one though? You're not going to find BotCon Rhinox, I don't think. But...
Well, no, that's true. Won't find that. But your Orange Man. I'm going to do that. Landmine. Yeah.
Jason can be the new Maz discovers Unicron Trilogy stuff.
He could be.
I was just looking at my database, and I don't know if I've got any. I'm sure I've got Unicron Trilogy somewhere. Can I find it? My database is all.
We'll bring the Unicron Trilogy miniseries back, and it'll be Jason discovers Unicron Trilogy.
Finds my collection. Yeah, totally. That's absolutely it.
So that's Jason finds the other tab on his spreadsheet.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there it is. Oh, I found it.
My database.
So
come on then, Jason.
Right,
what you got for us?
You know what's been really good for me in this is that now that we've gone through it and I understand the brief, I've got great choices for next time.
Hidden gems.
Okay, yeah.
That's the brief.
Yeah.
Hidden.
Not ice gems. Hidden gems.
But this time, I'm going to go for this guy, which is...
What is it going to be?
Legends Chop Shop.
Oh, okay.
This is a good shout.
Yeah, so I felt this was a good shout in the fact that so it's a redeco of Scrapnel from the same line, but this version compared to Scrapnel, this version is way better in my opinion. Like, look at the old mold. This is the thing, for a Beast Wars fan, any kind of bug, and the original. But this is a really lovely insect mode to the point when I remember when I got this. So this was like a tenner, 10 of your British pounds when it came out. I was really tempted to go back and buy
and your Scottish pounds,
exactly, and your Irish and Welsh and English and everything else pounds, I was really tempted to go back and buy more of them because I wanted to put them on the wall as like this kind of little diorama of bugs going up the wall.
You said this about the deluxe Insecticons before, honestly. You've got this thing
Jason's
about
gone really wild.
It's my really wild show, exactly.
We've got to start calling him Terry Nutkins in a minute.
J-Nuts.
I did always have a big soft spot for Michaela Strachan. I'm not going to lie.
I think everybody did. Yeah, I think everybody did.
Yeah,
how can you not?
It was formative years, wasn't it? That's what it was.
It really was. With
Jet. But fantastic figure. I christen this a Fiddlebot. Bear with me in the fact that it is something.
Following Michaela Strachan with Fiddlebot, Jason.
Yeah,
Fiddlebot.
And nuts.
You just it's
J-Nuts.
J-Nuts. He's having a fiddle.
He's having a J fiddle.
What are you doing?
J fiddles.
That's his hip hop name, J Fids.
Fiddlebot.
J Fids.
It's not a type of bug. That's a type of bug. There we're going. We're kicking now. Right. But a more appropriate name is Deskbot. It's perfect Deskbot material. This really great little size. Pop it on desk. Little. And you're transformed, and he's sitting there in bug mode. It's fantastic. It's just a load of fun. And of course, it's the same thing as my Predaking choice. In that it takes an existing G1 character and brings it up to date. And I think I'm right in saying that this is the only other Chop Shop we've had, actually.
Well, there's a new one now, isn't there?
New one coming.
Yeah, there's a new one.
It's not
on the
out
way.
though, isn't?
Not out yet.
It's not out yet. Yeah.
This one, this is the only other one. I also have this, Jason, and this is a great choice. I considered choosing this as well. So that was,
did you? Yes.
Great minds. Yeah, really did.
Wow.
Good.
When couldn't think of anything else, and I was like, that guy looks. But this is a fantastic toy. Did you have all the other Insecticons, the G1 versions of these?
Yes, I did.
Regular ones.
I did. Yeah, for the because this was Combiner Wars that Chop Shop was released in, which is kind of a bit mad. But then they started going into the next line, which then was that going into Titan's Return at that point? I can't remember now. But it was kind of weird. We ended up getting versions of this toy that were pretty much the same but slightly different colors.
Bombshell was the first one that was in Combiner Wars as well, wasn't it? And then the other two, came gradually, and then this guy as well.
Yeah, so you got Scrapnel, and I got the bomb. I got multiple versions of the Bombshell, but they were. Do you know what it was? It was like, I love the original G1, like the original G1 Insecticons, and the style of them. But when we got ball joints, and it obviously, from Beast Wars, and how, again, it was me going back to experiencing these things and getting the kind of insect animal figures, which were then suddenly just realized a lot better and really nice. And I've got a massive soft spot for the original G1 Insecticons, obviously, but this as both alt mode and figure is really what makes it for me. I think it's just really solid, really, really fun.
Yeah. Plus the original deluxe Insecticons, as we talked about, are
totally.
very, very fragile. They're
that's
toys.
You don't want to touch them. Exactly. Yeah.
So nice, but fragile.
Yeah, so these guys, you can pick them up, you put them together. They are just, from a toy photography point of view, they're a huge amount of fun just to pile into a scene and do that. And
put them on your wall. Just leave them there.
Leave them there, scare your neighbors, whatever.
Dangle them from string.
People come round, they're like, what the is that? Do you know what I mean?
Why have you done that? I'm going to get a tank, kind of like a whole tank with vegetation in it and just put them in there. They're proper robots in disguise. There we go, you see?
They've got a really good aesthetic as well. Like the robot mode for this, it's spindly and it's kind of really neatly detailed because it's got all these little panels and angles and stuff. And it doesn't feel like the cartoon. It feels like sort of maybe a bit like a Studio Oxy sort of style design, like a stylized version you would see of this in some sort of Japanese magazine or something like that. There's just the shapes to it and the angles. And the detail on it is phenomenal. Like the Bombshell, it's very Dreamwave. That's what I always quite liked about it. It's got that puffy, chunky sort of shapes to him.
Yeah, totally. You're right as well about considering how the size of this figure, the head sculpt on this is really nice, and it's teeny totty as well. And
it's different as well, isn't it? It's for him. It's not Shrapnel's head sculpt, is it?
No, it's not. They've redone it, so it's unique to this figure. Yeah, exactly. And it has absolute nods back to the OG version as well.
There was the little chop shop that came with that Legends Megatron as well, wasn't there? There was the really tiny little one.
Oh, was there? Oh, I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Yeah, really tiny, really, really tiny little thing. Here's a picture.
There he is.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
I mean, comparative size-wise, you can see that's like...
it's Micromaster. Yeah.
Get some of them and put them on your wall.
Absolutely. That's brilliant, isn't it?
Get like
little
15
baby ones.
of them in a little trail. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? A little diorama.
I like that photo of the bug mode next to Megatron. It just looks like he's fallen down. Face planted at the floor. He's had a night the night before. He's like, why do I do this to myself?
It's so
the
true.
bug mode on that one looks like a lobster more than anything.
It does look. Yeah, he's got big mandibles, doesn't he? Going on.
The little silver pins look like eyes. It's like little goofy eyes.
Is that the pins? I thought they were eyes.
That's the pins. He looked at his little eyebrows. He's got little eyebrows. He looks like friend shaped, doesn't he?
It's like what's the squid? The red squid.
What, Takatang?
One. We talked about it. No.
Clawjaw.
Yeah. It's sort of like if you turn him upside down, he'd look like a squid with a little...
Someone is inevitably going to write in again and tell me that the Takatank is not a squid, that it's an octopus.
Yeah, you're going to get...
Which I got corrected on that last time. I said squid, but it's an octopus. So there you go.
This guy, look, he's got the little silver pins for eyes and little white eyebrows. It's just, once you look at it, you go...
you can't unsee.
Kind of fun.
That needs to be an emoji on our Discord.
It does, actually.
It's just absolutely so funny. It's so cute.
I'm just going to drop this as well, just so you get a better view of that. It's from cybertron.com. They've got some really nice images of this guy, but you can really see his head sculpt there as well. And keeping in mind, it's tiny. Yeah. Great figure. Well worth picking
that's
up.
the thing. And again, we've said this before, but it's always the thing, isn't it? When you're looking at pictures of a toy and the picture is larger than the actual physical thing.
100%.
You've got to keep that in mind. Absolutely. So Great choice.
Yeah, cool.
So come on then. What was it going to be?
My original was this unknown character called Bumblebee.
Oh my god!
It was animated activator Bumblebee.
Maz
we've actually had that. Yeah, we've had that.
Maz did he do that as a hidden gem?
Yeah.
Did he?
And that's a good hidden gem.
All right, there we go. Because, there we go. I was quite lucky then, actually.
It's not about the character. It could be a well-known character, but a little-known toy.
I was flitting between Bumblebee and the Bulkhead version of that. But the Bumblebee for me there was a whole story behind it, and the fact that just how fun they are. But Maz would have said all that before, and maybe that went in when I heard the episode as well previously. But
okay, we've had that one. We've had that one definitely.
Well, that was lucky. Imagine if I had chosen that, then it would have been.
That would have been embarrassing, wouldn't it? Great, cool. There you go. That's another round of hidden gems. Maybe some of that has enabled you.
We need a shout out to, was it Z the Nerdy Vampire that gave us a hint for that one? Was that right?
Well, Z responded in the photography thread on our wonderful Discord and asked if we were ever going to do another hidden gems. And I was like, it's not currently on the docket. But then Sixo suggested it the other night, and it was like, the timing.
Look at that.
The time is right.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah. The time to get the gems out.
Indeed.
And we did.
So shout out to Z.
War of the
That's
gems.
For Z.
Yeah, exactly. I love a good hidden gems. Honestly, it's one of my favourite styles of episode that we do, just because there's always toys that you're like less familiar with or whatever, and it's just, I don't know, nice to hear about something a bit different.
You're right. I mean, we could go with them to Infinity. Could do the old Infinity Gems.
Yeah. Saw that one coming.
But would we go beyond? Who knows? Yeah, there we go. Penny drop.
Wow.
Love it.
I was shaking my head.
I know.
Do me old Thanos snap there.
We all go to dust.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh dear. Well, I hope everybody's enjoyed it. It's been fun. And if you want more of this kind of banter, you can get on our Patreon, can't you? Because we've got loads of good stuff on there. I mean, we talk about it all the time, but it really is worth a look. We've got 5 glorious tiers of stuff. You can join us for just £1 a month as an apologetic ramp, or as a man in pig for £3 a month. Now, as a man in pig, you get access to episodes like this up to a week early, which is pretty exciting. But both of those tiers can now also get on our Discord as well. So just limited access to a couple of channels, but we've just opened it up a little bit to kind of, give people a little taste and whatever else. So for just £1 a month, you can get into our kind of general chat, if you like, which is pretty nice. So come on in and join the fun and all good stuff.
Lick the windows.
just
breathe on the window pane.
Yeah,
let me in.
Like sickos, But you can sign up as well as an inner beast, and then you get full access to the whole Discord, or you can come in and be a Sixo's butler, and you get access to our fortnightly mini-sodes, so like little short exclusive episodes as well on a range of topics. We've just done one on the really weird Star Saber prototype that we were like, is this a prototype? Is it a KO? We kind of talked about that. All of that kind of stuff. We've got some really exciting minisodes coming up as well. Or you can be a Goldbox Classics and you can get access to our ongoing mini-series on a range of topics like Liam's Tapman, Jason's Titan's Return. We're doing one on IDW. We're doing Skybound. And we may have something else in the works as well. I'm not at liberty to discuss that yet, but we're working on something, which, if it happens, it's going to be good. That's what I'll say.
It's going to be epic.
Very excited for that.
Yeah. If it happens, it's going to be good. I'll leave it at that. So you're going to want to sign up for this. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I think. And we have some new patrons as well, don't we, Jason?
We do indeed, yeah. So we've got 2 Sixo's butlers to say hello to this week. We've got Torney, who's joined us. Hello, Torney. And we also have Gregory Curran, who's joined us as well. They've come in as Sixo butlers. And at the Gold Box Classics level, we have Jetstorm, we've got Mike Yang, we've got Spencer Ellsworth, and we also have G Stolt Geek, which is a wicked name. Love
Gestalt
it.
Geek, I think.
G Stolt Geek.
I'm hearing Jason saying G Stoat.
G-Stoat Geek. Yeah, I think it's Gestalt Geek.
Gestalt Geek. All right. Is that what?
Yes.
Are these some kind of Transformer thing?
Yeah, from
I'm
do you remember?
joking.
Oh, right. Okay. I wasn't sure for a minute. I was like, what's going on? Gestalt Geek. Yeah, it's from back in the era.
He
still hasn't lived that one down.
It's got to be one.
But you remember that era where everybody used the word Gestalt all the time before we kind of landed on Combiner, and now it's just Combiner. Everyone says Combiner.
Yeah, exactly.
But
we should bring it back.
A decent window there, it was everything
Gestalt
was
Geek
Gestalt.
is bringing it back. That's what.
Maybe it was Gestalt the whole time, and I just didn't know.
Exactly. That's it. Totally. Welcome all. Come and chat to us on the Discord about pronunciation. That's my jam.
Yeah, exactly.
Like your jam.
Jam. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, do come and join us as well. And honestly, we've had some good sign-ups recently. It's been really, really good. Some lovely folks as well. So thank you very much for that. We appreciate it. So and we've got some exciting stuff coming up as well in terms of episodes. We've got another guest on the way before too long. I can't say who, but that's going to be pretty exciting. Liam's looking around now like, who is it? Who is it?
Yeah, it's just taking me a moment to remember who it was.
There's a few.
Oh, yeah, yep.
There is a few.
Totally.
Yeah, there's a couple of big guests on the way. Some of you, I think we've said already, didn't we, that we spoke to Josh Cooley and Lorenzo from TF1. So that's happening. But there's someone else as well is the thing, and the other person is pretty legendary. So that's all to look forward to.
And we do have a Redbubble, but today it's a bit hot, so I can't open any emails or anything like that because at the moment I can't really see because of the heat haze in front of me. Yeah. But if you want to get something for your holidays, if it's hot, go get yourself a beach towel or some kind of beach attire. We probably do that on rebel.com/people/Triple Takeover/explore.
Boom.
And if you have anything to say about hidden gems, if you've got any you think are hidden gems that you would like to tell us about, then hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, that other thing, Blue Sky, and join our Discord.
TikTok. YouTube. Oh, you said that. Yeah.
Go to YouTube.
We're on TikTok.
We're on
TikTok. We're on TikTok.
Oh yeah. That'll be banned soon. But head over YouTube and head over to YouTube. Say nice things in the comments and watch some short circuits.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, definitely. If you're not on our YouTube, please go and give us a sub on YouTube. That would be lovely. We need some more subs on there. So it's growing. It's growing over time. But yeah, we need some more subs. So that would be very much appreciated.
Not unsubs.
Not unsubs, yeah. Not Criminal Minds.
Sub. Like.
Dun.
Yeah. Go get old Hotchner on the case.
Okay, so Sixo, where can people find you and your excellent Emirates Zaran /Flame video?
Well, that you can find. I will just keep it quick. You can find me also on the YouTube. Go and give me a sub as well. That would be lovely. I'd really appreciate that. And I do have a rather exciting vid that's out now on Emirates Zaran and Flame, so you can check that out months early.
Months early.
Yeah, it is. They're not out till October, the toys. So I got a comment already, like one of the first comments, someone was like, "Hey, what's all this then?" And it was like as if to imply I'd stolen them.
Was it in Dick Whittington? Was it the copper?
Exactly.
At school when we did Dick Whittington, I played the copper and that was my line. Oi, oi, oi.
Oi, oi, oi.
Hold up. What's all this then?
Excuse me, governor.
Yeah.
Fell off the back of a lorry. No, I got them through legitimate means. They were sent to me direct from source.
I love the idea that you somehow could get those. That's brilliant.
Well, people do. This is the thing. People do. People nick them. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You did not. Just for
I did not nick them.
Yours officially from
Sixo
Hasbro.
legit.
Yes. Yeah, it was a present from BMAC, which was very kind. So,
Jason, Mr. Swags.
Hello there. Yeah.
Sorry, Mr. Swags.
Swags. J Swags.
J Swags. Yeah. So that makes it easy. Go to Instagram, J Swags. And follow me there, and you'll see some photos. That's a good place to go. Liam, where are you?
I am still at Toybox anywhere there is an at.
You sure?
Yes.
Hanging on to that, are you? Excellent.
Clinging. It's mine.
Clinging. Good. Excellent. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our episode of Hidden Gems. It's been marvellous. And as Liam said, do hit us up and let us know your hidden gems. Is that a good thing? Is that an appropriate thing to say?
Or
I don't know.
Send us some ice gems.
Send us some ice gems.
I'm vegetarian now. I can eat them.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Okay. Sorry. All right. They're vegetarian.
They're vegetarian.
My entire life. Yeah. They weren't vegetarian as a kid, so I could never eat them. But now every time we do this, it makes me want them.
Right. For a minute there, I thought you'd turned unvegetarian and gone back to being vegetarian. I wasn't sure what had happened.
Exactly. Brilliant.
Yeah. Sounds hard.
It does sound.
It does sound very hard. Don't do that. Yeah.
Anyway, that's going to about do it for the episode for tonight. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and be sure to catch us for the next one.
Oh,
nice.